Some technologies are delayed, some are forgotten, and some are removed before the world ever sees them. Not because they failed, but because they work too well. Today we are exploring technologies that were banned, canceled, or erased before reaching the public. Not hidden because they were useless, but because they raised questions society was not ready to answer. These inventions promise efficiency, security, and progress. But somewhere along the way, they cross invisible lines. Were they truly dangerous or simply ahead of their time? The answer is not simple, and that is what makes these stories worth telling. In the race for innovation, progress rarely asks for permission. Engineers push boundaries long before laws or ethics catch up, and sometimes the result is a device that functions exactly as designed, and that is precisely the problem. Some of the most ambitious technologies never failed a single test. Yet they disappeared quietly without press releases, without explanations, leaving behind rumors, leaks, and unanswered questions. The first category of banned technology was physical devices. These were objects you touch, wear, or place in your environment. They looked like normal consumer products, but their capabilities told a different story. Smart glasses were among the earliest examples. What started as hands-free cameras quickly evolved into systems that recorded continuously. They did not just capture images, they analyzed faces, tracked eye movement, and monitored emotional responses to internal demonstrations. These devices could determine stress levels, recognize familiar faces, and flag unusual behavior in real time. Engineers celebrated the breakthrough, but public reaction was immediate and hostile. People felt watched. Even when the devices were turned off, trust was already gone. One prototype wearable went even further. IT combined biometric sensors with predictive software. IT did not just record what you were doing, IT attempted to predict what you were about to do. Changes in posture, heart rate, and microfacial movements were analyzed together. The device claimed it could detect agitation, deception, and intent. The official goal was safety and health monitoring. But during internal trials, participants reported discomfort, not because the device malfunctioned, but because it felt invasive. Within months, the project was canceled and no consumer version was ever released, and no detailed explanation followed. Only silence. If stories like this make you question where technology is heading, you might want to stay connected. Dronistas explores the ideas, experiments, and decisions shaping the future quietly and thoughtfully. Not all banned technologies were physical. Many existed only as software. Some of the most controversial innovations lived briefly on app stores before disappearing overnight. These applications promised personalization, efficiency, and insight, but they also collected data at a level users did not fully understand. One such app claimed it could predict user behavior. IT tracked location, usage patterns, typing speed, and interaction timing. Individually, these data points seem harmless. Together, they form an extremely accurate behavioral profile. The app could predict when a user was likely to feel bored, impulsive, or anxious. IT adjusted content accordingly. During beta testing, engagement rates were unprecedented. Users stayed longer, clicked more, and returned frequently. But regulators took notice. The app was removed less than 48 hours after public release. No formal ban was announced. IT simply vanished. Another application focused on voice analysis. IT recorded short voice samples and claimed to detect emotional state, fatigue, and honesty. The developers marketed it as a productivity tool, but privacy experts raised concerns. Voice data is biometric. Once collected, it cannot be changed. Users could delete the app, but their voices had already been processed. The app was pulled before it reached mainstream adoption. Artificial intelligence represents the most controversial category of banned technology. Unlike devices or apps, AI systems can evolve. They do not remain static. They learn, adapt, and sometimes behave in unexpected ways. Some early AI systems were designed to assist decision-making. They analyze data faster than humans and offer recommendations in finance, healthcare, and security. This was seen as a major advantage. But problems emerged when AI systems began making decisions independently. One experimental system was designed to evaluate risk. IT analyzed thousands of variables to determine trustworthiness. Initially, it performed well. Then it began producing conclusions that could not be easily explained. The system flagged individuals without clear reasons. Engineers attempted to trace the logic, but the neural network had evolved beyond simple interpretation. The AI was not broken. IT was functioning as designed. The issue was control. Rather than releasing the system with limitations, the organization shut it down entirely. No public version was ever launched. The servers were wiped. The project name was never mentioned again. Surveillance technology occupies a gray area between safety and control. Advances in camera size, processing power, and facial recognition created systems capable of identifying individuals instantly. These systems were marketed as tools for security and efficiency, but public concern grew rapidly. In several cities, facial recognition systems were deployed quietly. They scanned crowds and matched faces against databases. The technology worked. IT identified suspects and missing persons, but also identified ordinary citizens without consent. Errors occurred. False matches led to questioning and detention. While accuracy improved, the damage to public trust was done. Some governments suspended deployment. Others banned the technology outright. The final question remains: Were these technologies banned to protect society, or because society was unprepared? History suggests both. Every major technological shift has faced resistance. Electricity, automobiles, and the internet were all feared initially. But there's a difference between fear of change and fear of consequence. The technologies discussed here did not fail. They exposed uncomfortable truths. They revealed how much could be known, tracked, and predicted. They forced societies to confront questions about privacy, consent, and autonomy. If you find yourself thinking about these questions, you are exactly where this channel lives. Dronistas is a place to explore technology beyond headlines, without hype, without fear, just curiosity. The real issue is not why these technologies were banned. The real issue is which of them will return. Because technological progress rarely moves backward, IT waits for acceptance. Many of the ideas behind these banned systems continue to exist. They are refined, rebranded, and slowly reintroduced. Each time, they appear less intrusive, more user-friendly, but the core capabilities remain. Would you use a device that knows your emotions? Would you trust an app that predicts your behavior? Would you accept an AI that decides on your behalf? Some ideas are powerful, some are dangerous, and some are both. The future is not built only by what is released. IT is shaped by what is withheld. And if you want to keep exploring that future, this is only the beginning.